Chuckles and I met each other back in 1984. And I took one look at her and I said, that's the boat for me.
Today we're launching Chuckles, which is a refurbished lobster boat from our dock here at the Thousand Islands Playhouse. Captain Lance is the captain of Chuckles, and this summer, for the first time ever, our patrons will have the opportunity to take a 3-hour cruise around the Thousand Islands before seeing either one of our matinees or our evening performances.
The gateway to the Thousand Islands is here in Gananoque, but the islands that you're going to explore are actually in the township.
Absolutely.
So it is very much a community, a neighbor. We share things and we're very, very close, and so that's why I've asked Mayor Kinsella to help me cut the ribbon.
The idea is to do a 3-hour tour through the Thousand Islands during that time and then come back to Gananoque. And people can go and have a lunch or a supper, and then they can go and see a play. And we also run chartering. That means that you can take your family out, or your girlfriend, or your wife, or whatever party you want to put together, go to the States. You know, it's just an amazing experience because you get the boat and me.
It's really fantastic that we have this boat tour leaving right from our dock. There aren't very many theaters in Canada or in the world that are actually right on the water the way our Playhouse is. So already the Playhouse is unique for that out in your intermission in between acts, you can come out and have a glass of wine and look at the moon over the St. Lawrence and be really proud that we live in this beautiful area of the world. And we love that our audience can engage with the river in that way. And we are really excited that we can now take that engagement another step further, and that we actually have this refurbished lobster boat and Captain Lance giving a 3-hour tour before both our matinees and our evening performances. To me, when I first interviewed for this job as artistic director here, that was one of the things I spoke quite a bit about, was how I wanted to continue the way which the Playhouse engages with the community and continue with the way that the Playhouse supports its audiences to engage with the community. And that's something that's definitely happened in the past, and we're just trying to make it even easier for our audience to do so now. So if you go to Stratford and you see a show, you're probably going to go to St. Jacobs and go to St. Jacobs Market. And if you go to the Shaw Festival, you're probably going to go to one of the wineries at the same time. And I want people to think the same thing about coming to the Thousand Islands Playhouse. They are going to go on a boat tour, the GAN boat lines or Chuckles, or maybe they're going to rent a kayak. But that those ideas of seeing the theater and being out on the water are synonymous when you think about the Playhouse.
She was a very, very sorry-looking Maine lobster boat with a sail on top of her, and she'd been altered and adjusted, and all kinds of things had happened to her in her life. And she was in very, very bad shape. In 1986, after many small repairs with the owner, because I'm a shipwright by trade, I ended up buying her because she was beyond repair, and I got her for $1,500. I put her into dry dock for 8 years. In 1993, we launched her after a full restoration. We built the hull and all that you see now. And in 1999, my wife and I moved up to Eastern Ontario, and we started Rideau Canal boat tours. And that we ran up until last year. We're still living in Portland, and now we're joining the Playhouse, and it's going to be a lot of fun. What is so unique about going out in a smaller boat is that we are licensed to carry 12 people by Transport Canada, is that each one on board is an individual. And my job as captain and also as your host is to make it as fun as possible. And yes, sometimes we started off a little slow, people are a little nervous, people are not really sure what they're getting themselves into. But I guarantee you, by the time the first hour is over, you're either on the boat or you've got off it, because it's never been the latter. it has always worked. It's a wonderful experience, it's very personal, and it's most enjoyable from both sides, and we have so much fun. It's just beyond belief. And where I came from was a 4-hour trip with an hour break in the middle. This one, unfortunately, at the moment, it's only a 3-hour trip. We could make it that longer one way or the other. That can change any time. But it is a really wonderful experience, especially with the electric motor. And when we're running on batteries, you can barely hear anything other than the water in the loons. When you're running diesel electric, which we're running now, you can hear the generator running, but we're only using about 7 litres of diesel per trip. It's an amazing experience.